Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
A warm evening to you and welcome to Core TV Primetime News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. In our major story, President Goodluck Jonathan is set to visit Chibok in Borno State for an on-the-spot assessment, 1 month after over 200 secondary school girls were abducted by Boko Haram. Also in this program, House of Representatives okays extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno and Yobe State. Lagos monarch Rilwan Akiolu at a book launch endorses Akinwumi Ambode as the next governor of the state. And outside Nigeria, United States President Barack Obama hails the love and spirit of September 11 as he inaugurates Ground Zero Museum. And now the details. If words coming out of the presidency are anything to go by, President Goodluck Jonathan will on Friday visit Borno State, one of the centers of violence being orchestrated by the Boko Haram sect. This is coming 30 days after the Chibok schoolgirls were abducted from the government secondary school. The president will use the opportunity of the trip to the state currently under emergency rule to visit Chibok, where over 200 schoolgirls were kidnapped on April 14. The visit is coming more than a month after the kidnap that has attracted global attention. Core TV News learned that members of the president's advance team had left Abuja for the troubled state. The president will use the opportunity of the visit to see for himself the carnage done by the sect members at the school and hear from eyewitnesses. In a related issue, Jonathan will travel to Paris, France on Friday to participate in a summit convened by President François Hollande to discuss fresh strategies for dealing with the security threat posed by Boko Haram and other terrorist groups in West and Central Africa. According to statements by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ruben Abati, the president will be joined at the summit by heads of state and government of Benin Republic, Cameroon, Niger and Chad. The statement read, "It is also expected that Britain, the United States of America and the European Union will be represented at the talks, which will give special attention to the coordination and intensification of the efforts to curtail the destabilizing activities of Boko Haram in Nigeria and neighboring countries in the wake of the recent abduction of schoolgirls." President Jonathan will be accompanied by the Minister of Defense, Ali Gusau, the National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki, as well as other principal aides and advisors, will return to Abuja at the conclusion of the summit on Saturday. The House of Representatives has approved the request by President Goodluck Jonathan to extend emergency rule in Borno, Yobe and Adamawa State by another 6 months. The decision came through a majority voice note shortly after a closed-door meeting between the lawmakers and service chiefs. Jonathan had forwarded the request for the extension of the emergency rule to the National Assembly on Tuesday. The Speaker, Aminu Tambuwal, explained that the meeting focused on the current security situation in the states and the progress made so far to secure the release of the abducted schoolgirls. The chairman, House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Zachary Mohammed, later confirmed at a news conference that the service chiefs were able to convince lawmakers to extend the emergency period. The All Progressives Congress has urged the federal government to immediately stop the discordant tunes emanating from the highest echelons of government and speak with one voice on issues concerning the ongoing effort to find and rescue the schoolgirls abducted by Boko Haram. In a statement issued in Abuja by its interim National Publicity Secretary, Lai Mohammed, the party says the conflicting statements credited to top government officials over the conditions given by Boko Haram for releasing the girls were totally unwarranted. This, the party added, could send the wrong signal to the insurgents and hinder the efforts to ensure the safe return of the girls. The opposition party wants the federal government to designate a spokesman to be responsible for daily relaying to the public any relevant information concerning the search of the missing girls. Authorities of the Nigerian Army has reacted to the mutiny of some soldiers of the Division 7 of the Nigerian Army by instituting a high-powered delegation to investigate the occurrence at the headquarters of the division at Mai Malari, Maiduguri. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, approved the immediate removal of the General Officer commanding the 7th Infantry Division, Major General Abubakar Muhammad. The Army authorities have appointed Brigadier General Mai Ibrahim as the replacement for Abubakar, who was removed because of the deep resentment against him among the incensed soldiers and some of the colleagues. The Director of Defense Information, Major General Chris Olukolade, confirms the removal of Muhammad and his replacement with Brigadier General Ibrahim. The General Officer commanding 7th Infantry Division of the Nigerian Army, Maiduguri, Abubakar Muhammad, escaped the claws of death by the whiskers when soldiers under his command staged a shooting protest of what they described as the continuous killing of troops in the mission area by insurgents due to deceit and betrayal from their leadership. The soldiers reportedly shot at everything in sight, including the official vehicle of the GOC. Public analysts Bala Zaka and political analyst Olabode Hussaini say corruption in the Nigerian military circle is assuming a dangerous trend. Tomi Ojo has more in this report presented from our studios.
When the governor of Borno State, Kashim Shettima, accused the military of complicity in some of the insurgent attacks that have been taking place in the state, a statement drew the eye of many who believe that such statement is uncomplimentary of the Nigerian military, who were doing so much to curb terror attacks in the northeast region. However, a recent confessional statement by military personnel that some in the forefront of the war against terrorism are Boko Haram apologists, impressed in the consciousness of all that the Nigerian army may not after all be completely free of aiding the incessant insurgent attacks in the northeast. Bala Zaka, a public analyst, and Olabode Hussaini expressed the need for the government to conduct a comprehensive investigation of the leadership of the military.
So what is basically happening today is not the fact that budgets have not been made. It's not the fact that appropriation or allocations have not been made, but the management and the implementations of the funds deployed have always been a suspect. And that's why there seems to be division within the security agencies in Nigeria, not just the military.
The government need to address many issues. They need to put their house in order. Because as we said on the program, it's going to a point that the whole world is making mockery of us. They're laughing at us. And why are they laughing at us? Because they think we're not doing what we're supposed to do. If Boko Haram is getting the information, on which network? Is it on a network that is not from this country? Are they getting their information when to move, when to assembly, when to attack, when not to attack? These are the things we need to ask ourselves.
The folder noted that the disagreements within the military is proof that the Borno State governor was right when he said the military was ill-equipped to fight this insurgency.
It is clear that to a reasonable extent, the terrorists have stronger firepower compared to the Nigerian military. So the question we need to just ask now is this: does it mean the military was being underfunded or the necessary funds were being diverted? There is no again denying the fact that we don't have a united and an integrated army as we used to have maybe 20 years, 30, 40 years ago.
You have a situation where soldiers that are supposed to defend the properties and lives are not equipped. If the ordinary soldier can get to a point of complaining that they are not well equipped. So I think everything needs to be investigated, needs to be checked, whether what they are saying is right or not. But I can imagine, not speaking for them, that they are right. Because, I mean, the look of things in the country, I'm visiting and I've seen so many things happening here. People, lives means nothing to others. The roads are bad. There's no light. There's no Medicare. Housing, schools are all neglected. So if the neglect has now gotten to a point of where the defense of the country is now being bashed, then we have a big problems in our hand.
The alleged mutiny was said to have been triggered by the arrival of the bodies of 10 soldiers who were ambushed and killed by suspected members of the violent sect. This latest shooting at the GOC convoy in Maiduguri has added another spill to the Nigerian Army uncoordinated fight against insurgency.
The federal government has commended the people of Kalabage in Borno State for foiling an attempt by Boko Haram insurgents to attack their community. The coordinator, National Information Center, Mike Omeri, gave the commendation at a joint news conference attended by the Department of State Security and the Nigeria Police in Abuja. Omeri applauded the residents for mobilizing against the attackers and stopping them from carrying out their heinous crime. He says the actual number of casualties in the forward attack had not been determined, adding that the federal government would soon make the figure available. The Lagos Police Command has again assured residents of the state of their safety. The police spokesperson, Ngozi Bright, in a telephone chat with Core TV News, dismissed as another rumor an alleged bomb scare in the heart of Lagos Island early this morning. Bright, who spoke against the background of rising insecurity in the country, welcomed any information from members of the public that could help police achieve full-scale security in the state.
35 hours, we got an information from people in the market that they saw some items that are suspicious in nature. So a policeman got there and also invited the explosive ordnance division experts. They came, they took away the items, and we took them for analysis. A few hours later, they called us and gave us their results, that the items were not explosives. There was no connection with any IED. They are just sealants. Sealant is like a gum. It's like a strong gum used in the industries. So far, so good. There's no connection with what they recovered with any form of explosive. So I still want to assure Lagosians that Lagos State is very, very safe. Lagos State is safe, and we have enough security measures in place. We have put in enough. We don't envisage problem, but everybody should remain security conscious. I also commend the people that alerted the authorities today, which means they have heeded our advice. They are security conscious. Though there was nothing like bomb today. There was nothing like bomb today. But I urge Lagosians to continue to be security conscious. At any time they see anything they do not understand, they should always feel free to get in touch with the law enforcement agents.
Thank God it is just another rumor. You're watching Core TV Primetime News. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more. Don't go away.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
This morning, Nigerians encourage corruption sites during first up the punch newspaper. And Nigerian Governor Forum calls for Okonjo Iweala's resignation. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
The dailies every day on Core TV News.
I don't think the election was actually... What are the people saying?
5 local government out of the 13 local government is more than many states in the north.
The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming? Bomb blast in Abuja.
Don't you have security?
Why are we fighting?
The presidency should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives.
Sellers are sponsoring these local Arabs. They know them.
Men cannot be there and be there at the same time.
The life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can work out.
Bring the message of peace. Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
The people, only on Core TV News.
Thank you for being there with us on Core TV Primetime News. And for more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Core TV News. On Twitter, @Core TV News NG. Also on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Core TV News. Moving on now, the paramount traditional ruler of Lagos, Oba Rilwanu Akiolu, has urged all well-meaning citizens of Lagos to support the candidacy of former Accountant General of the state, Akinwumi Ambode, to succeed incumbent Governor Babatunde Fashola as Governor of the state. He gave this admonition at a book launch for Ambode held at the Civic Center, Lagos. Olajumoke Olatunji, who was at the venue of the book launch, brought back this report.
The choice of who becomes the governor of Lagos, the nation's commercial nerve center, is always a subject of interest to frontline politicians, traditional rulers, and the business community in the country. The tenure of the incumbent Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola will end in less than 10 months from now, and the struggle for who occupies the Lagos House next is gathering momentum. However, the media is awash with various names as those that will succeed Fashola. All of the speculations appear to have come to an end when the paramount ruler of Lagos, Oba Rilwanu Akiolu, who is considered a strong power broker in the state, declared that the choice of Ambode as the next governor of Lagos is non-negotiable. The occasion was the launching of a book titled The Art of Selfless Service, written by Marina Oshoba in honor of Akinwumi Ambode, who was the former Accountant General in Lagos. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress and former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, was represented by Fola Otowari at the lunch. He poured out encomium on Ambode as a visionary and dedicated leader who is committed to selfless service to humanity.
As that young, ambitious, and highly determined Nigerian who defied his humble beginnings at Ekpe to become a public finance management expert.
Lagos State Governor Babatunde Fashola describes Ambode's tenure under his administration as one of the most rewarding. He was represented by Oluransi Adebule.
It's easy for me to conclude that Ms. Ambode is just not a successful administrator and a financial management expert, but an overall influential personality and a motivator.
The royal father prayed for the country, expressed optimism that the foreign intervention will yield a positive result.
Requested all mosques, churches, the native believers to pray. Efficacy of prayers is not in doubt. With prayer, all will be well, and those children will return hale and hardy to their parents. Cooperate with our people and assist us for what we want, and God will reward us and give us exactly what we want.
He's a man of many parts. Accomplished civil servant, a thoroughbred professional, a humble man, a loyal personality, a man who has cut a niche for himself in the sphere of life.
He takes people along. He doesn't want to succeed by himself. He wants everybody to succeed. He wants everybody to be excellent.
The occasion of the book launch has shed light on the most interesting political topic: who becomes the next governor of Lagos? Today's declaration and endorsement of Akinwumi Ambode has set the pace for the race to Alausa in 2015. Olajumoke Olatunji, Core TV News, Lagos.
The Federal Court of Appeal has ruled that the former governor of Delta State, James Ibori, has a case to answer. This comes about 6 years after a federal high court struck out 170 money laundering charges preferred against the former governor. In a certain aside, Justice Marcel Awokule's ruling, a three-man panel led by Justice Ibrahim Saulawa held that the High Court judge erred by dismissing the charges. The judge resolved all the issues raised in favor of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and paved way for Ibori's trial after completing his 13-year jail term in Britain. The People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State has criticized the approval of 26.6% allowance for teachers in the state, calling it a Greek gift. The state government quickly defended its position over the teachers' welfare. Rashid has details in this report presented from our studios.
The People's Democratic Party described the gesture as a political strategy while addressing its supporters at a rally in Ishe. The state government swiftly reacted to the allegation.
When we were in government, under my tenure, we were paying the teachers the 27.5%. We were paying at the time when the resources of the state was not even as buoyant as it is now. That money was being paid.
Any politician can say anything they like, but if the teachers who are the beneficiaries, who are the direct implementers of our World Bank initiative, how come these people saying this? How come in all the period they were in office, they were never able to access this kind of money?
The state governor insists that the decision was made in the best interest of Ekiti teachers and the citizenry.
I think the teachers should not be deceived. Fayemi is only doing it for as an election gimmick. If he was there for 4 years, he didn't deem it right to pay the teachers their due, what was rightly theirs. I think the teachers should not be fooled.
I talked about core subject allowance. Go and ask them, don't ask me. This is the chairman of NUT. I talked about 16.5% of teachers' peculiar allowance. They've been collecting it. Now I've talked about the balance of 11.5%. They have no reason to disbelieve this government.
The political campaigns have continued to be a show of strength and influence as candidates discredit each other at the slightest opportunity. Governorship candidates of the two major political parties have always defended their position on issues.
I said the incoming executive governor of Ekiti State. I saw the record of Dr.
Running on a record of delivery. to our teachers, to our public servants, to our people. And that is why rumors and bad blood will not sell. Anybody who has something to sell, let them sell it to the teachers and sell it to the people.
Teachers' welfare is becoming a major campaigning issue for all parties in the states. The teachers are said to possess a high percentage of.
The United Nations Information Center celebrated the yearly International Day of Families. The 2014 celebrations is the 20th observance by the World Body. Tamine Mispidibote has details.
In 1994, the United Nations General Assembly decided to set aside May 15 as the International Day of Families to bring to the consciousness of the inhabitants of the globe the importance of family to the development of societies across the world.
The message on this occasion, first of all, is that we are using this occasion of the International Day of Families, which also coincides with the 20th anniversary of the International Year of the Family, to raise awareness about the importance of family, to also strengthen family, which is a critical unit even in the development ladder. And the message is that we need to support the family, you know, in whatever form, because there are a lot of pressures on the family these days.
International Family Day, it is 20th anniversary that United Nations decided to boost and have this observance around the globe jointly with representatives of the country to see how we can support this microcosm, which is the most important fabric of every society.
The 2014 Family Day, with the theme Contribution of the Family to Society, a call for family-oriented policies, attracted dignitaries from all walks of life. Speakers who delivered speeches at the occasion were unanimous in their views that children's education and inculcating societal values in children will bring about a peaceful society. Peer pressure and undue exposure to societal ills were highlighted as factors militating against successful parenting.
Every human being is a representative of one family or the other, and as such, moral values must be key in exercising our rights in every setting, every day. We must take moral values to its highest level by teaching our children the do's and don'ts of life right from their childhood.
The family bonds has broken because from the family you get the community, from the community you get the towns and cities and stuff like that. The family has broken. That is why in the community now we see ourselves as enemies. We see ourselves as competitors. You know, your child is doing this, I want my child to do this. Are you getting what I'm saying? So these are just the issues.
The abduction of over 200 girls from a secondary school in Borno State continues to receive knocks from all interests across the world. The United Nations also restated its commitment to the search and rescue operation for the girls.
We need more security. Without that state of emergency, what do you expect? The security level is not going to be as high as it is today. If anything, we should up the game. So the legislators are actually being selfish, if you ask me, because they're thinking of themselves. They are not thinking of the people they are representing, because they should be there in the forefront of making sure that these girls are brought back, but most importantly, that it doesn't happen again.
I was disappointed. I expected the government to do more, really. I wanted them to, just show the world that we're really not as bad as people think that we are. But it's not that we're bad, it's more like I think that we just need a bit more discipline, and also we need to get our act together so that we can save those girls and get them back to their families.
United Nations position is clear. We are backing and we want these girls to be back, and not just to be back home, but to continue their education.
This year's celebration of Family Day, which was organized in collaboration with Women's Board Educational Cooperation Society, emphasized education of all family members regardless of age and gender. The occasion equally stressed positive parenting as a solution to societal ills. Tamne Mispidibote, Core TV News, Lagos.
You're watching Core TV Primetime News, and outside Nigeria, United States President Barack Obama hails the love and spirit of September 11 as he inaugurates Ground Zero Museum. Details right after this break.
On the day this morning, Nigerians encourage corruption, cites Jane Festa of the Punch newspaper. And Nigerian Gardener Forum calls for Okonjo Iweala's resignation. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper. The dailies every day on Core TV News.
I don't think the election was actually...
What are the people saying?
5 local government out of the 13 local government is more than many states in the north.
The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming? Bomb blast in Abuja.
Don't we have security?
Why are we fighting? Presidency should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives.
Government are sponsoring the local arm. They're not there.
Men cannot be there and be there at the same time.
The life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can't work out.
Bring the message of peace. Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
The people, only on Core TV News.
From time immemorial, women have birthed life, shaped character, and by extension, influenced the society. Moremi of Ife, Emoten of Benin, Queen Aminat of Zaria, all women of influence and power.
Whether it's before election, after election.
How ironical. Women being so powerful, yet have few grounds in decision making.
They see you as a wife, and I see you as a wife to a man.
We are talking women in politics.
A woman will be bold enough to stand up and say, I want to become president of Nigeria.
Only on Core TV News.
Thank you for being there with us on Core TV Primetime News. For more information on our news and other programs, visit us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Core TV News. On Twitter, @Core TV News NG. Also on YouTube, www.youtube.com/Core TV Space News. U.S. President Barack Obama hailed the love and sacrifice he said was the true spirit of September 11 as he inaugurated a Syrian Ground Zero Museum about al-Qaeda attacks which killed nearly 3,000 people. Obama says the museum, situated in the footprint of the former World Trade Center Twin Towers, would ensure that the horror and heroism of September 11, 2001 would never be forgotten by future generations. The museum has 10,000 artifacts and provides an emotionally brazen experience likely to revive terrible memories of the attacks.
To all those who responded with such courage, on behalf of Michelle and myself and the American people, it is an honor for us to join in your memories, to recall and to reflect, but above all to reaffirm the true spirit of 9/11. Love, compassion, sacrifice, and to enshrine it forever in the heart of our nation. And I think all who come here will find it to be a profound and moving experience. I want to express our deep gratitude to everybody who was involved in this great undertaking, for bringing us to this day, for giving us this sacred place of healing and of hope. Nothing can ever break us. Nothing can change who we are as Americans.
I was one of the last of the 25 people to come out of the South Tower. My number is 18. I had taken my shoes off on the 60th floor, and I walked in my stockings the rest of the way. After that, I still walked in my stocking feet 50 more blocks to get to a friend's office, barely in one piece.
continued to boil after thousands went on strike and police clashed with protesters. 282 workers died in one of the worst mining accidents in modern history. Hope of saving those trapped is fading. 2 days after the devastating blast, police fired tear gas and water cannon at around 20,000 anti-government protesters in the western city of Izmir. Turkey's 4 biggest unions called a one-day strike, saying workers' lives were being jeopardized to cut costs. They demanded that those responsible for the collapse of the coal mine in the western town of Soma in Manisa province be brought to account. President Abdullah Gül says it is a great disaster and vowed that action to prevent further accidents will be taken. Mine explosions and calvings are common occurrences in Turkey. And now to wrap up Core TV Primetime News, here are some of the major stories. President Goodluck Jonathan is set to visit Chibok in Borno State for an on-the-spot assessment 1 month after over 200 secondary school girls were abducted by Boko Haram. We also reported the House of Representatives okays extension of emergency rule in Adamawa, Borno and Yobe State. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. Have a pleasant night rest.